So this is just my post-fight review for the Usman vs Covington fight. In my opinion, I think this fight might have been a lot better than the first fight. The first fight is razor close, right? And obviously, going into the fifth round, I had Usman winning 2 rounds, and I had Covington winning 2 rounds, and obviously the fifth round was a decider, which did decide who won, because I think that's the round where Usman managed to break his jaw. In this fight, it was very close. It was a very close fight, and I do think Covington is probably the second best welterweight on the planet. Obviously, you do have other fighters in the mix like Gilbert Burns and such, but I don't think Gilbert Burns was as competitive against Usman as Covington was. Obviously, Usman is definitely the best welterweight on the planet right now. I mean, that's undeniable, and in my opinion, I think he would have gave GSP a very, very, very good fight, and possibly would have beaten him as well. Obviously, GSP done a lot of great things, but obviously I'm going off on a tangent here now. But yeah, in my opinion, the Covington versus Usman fight, the second fight, was very exciting. In the fight, I think Kamaru Usman looked like he did develop himself, and I think in the second fight there was more repertoire to the game. Like there was more wrestling. For example, Colby Covington managed to secure a takedown, and I think it's the first takedown of his career. I don't know if he's ever done that before. So yeah, so for my opinion, I think he is one of the best fights, and I think this is the best two fights that I've actually seen back to back be this incredibly exciting. Like, for them both to have such a great fight back to back, I mean, it's quite impressive to see, actually. So yeah, for my opinion, I think this is one of the best fights I've actually ever seen. Obviously, Colby definitely had his moments, but there was a time in the third round where Usman landed a double right hand and dropped him twice, and he did manage to come back. I think in this fight, to some extent, Colby kind of redeemed himself, because he managed to finish the fight standing, and he didn't run away when the fight ended as well, like he did in the first fight. And to some extent, I think there's a lot of respect between the two now, even though before the fight they didn't really have that much respect for each other. So yeah, that's just my opinion about this. Tell me your opinion. What fight did you like the most? Did you think basically who do you think, where do you think either one of them go from here? I think at this point, Kamaru Usman has literally double lapped the entire welterweight division. Like, he beat Masvidal twice, he beat Colby Covington twice. He could probably fight Gilbert Burns and beat him again. I mean, this is incredible stuff that he's doing. This is very historic, and it's gotten to the point now where the welterweight division is absolutely stacked with talent. It's a very talented division. You got Gilbert Burns, you got Leon Edwards, you got Masvidal, you got Colby Covington, you got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, you got Vicente Luque, you got Michael Chiesa, you got all these, obviously Khamzat Chimaev's coming up as well. You got all these great fighters, and the champion's beaten most of them. And he's not only beaten them, he's beaten them decisively, and he's at a verge now where he's double lapping them. He's beaten them twice now in a row. I mean, this is unprecedented stuff, and in my opinion, I think it's you can make a case that he's on the path to potentially surpass George St. Pierre. Now, don't get it twisted, I've got a lot of respect for George St. Pierre. In my opinion, he is one of the pioneers of the sport, and he's definitely a legend, and he definitely made the sport scientific to an extent. I mean, fighters back then, before GSP came along, they didn't have a specific coach for each of the disciplines that they used to train. They just used to train in whatever they were good at, but they never really specialized the way GSP did. GSP had a boxing coach in Freddie Roach. He had a kickboxing coach. He had a Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach. I mean, this was a guy who was ahead of his time in a lot of ways. I mean, he also brought a lot of class to the sport. I mean, this was the Affliction era where everybody was wearing like t-shirts and such, and then obviously he came along, and he actually changed things. I mean, he started wearing suits at press conferences, and this was before the UFC became $1 billion company. So yeah, in my opinion, GSP is an absolute legend, and he's accomplished things that are just incredible. But you can't deny the fact that it's coming to a point now where it seems like Kamaru Usman's getting close to him now in terms of his legacy. I mean, he's doing things that are just unprecedented. I mean, he's beaten fighters that he's already beaten more decisively. Like when he beat Masvidal the second fight. I mean, it's incredible. So yeah, in my opinion, Kamaru Usman is a special fighter, and he's very unappreciated as well. That's another thing about him. He's very unappreciated, despite the fact that he's accomplishing what he's accomplishing. I think fans are slowly coming around now. Like, they're slowly seeing, like, you know what, maybe this guy deserves our respect. He never really got that before, but now he's starting to get it, which is good. It's better late than never, but obviously never late is better. So yeah, that's just my opinion on this. Tell me your opinion. What do you think about this? Where do you think either one of them goes from here? Obviously Colby Covington's, obviously he gave another game effort. He was very competitive, but I don't think he's in a position to actually fight for the title again. And he says he wants to fight Masvidal, which is a very good fight, to be fair, but obviously Masvidal is locked up with Leon Edwards, so we've got to see how that plays out. So yeah, this is just my opinion on this particular fight, and just the state of the welterweight division in general, and just the legacy of Kamaru Usman. Tell me your opinion, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.